Welcome back to Humbro Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D. With me today,
Spencer.
My usual dual commander host here, ready to cover down some amazing Magic the Gathering we had last Friday during the FNM.
Yes.
Great turnout. Had a lot of fun. And
First week with the new MH3 cards.
Exactly. Jeez, these MH3 cards are, like, this is exactly why I said MH3 is dual commander masters.
Yes.
I know that everyone's like, oh, this is Modern Horizons. It's Money Masters. Yes, agreed.
Yes.
But it's also dual commander masters. The cards and the sets and the leaders and the new legendaries are already changing the format. And today we're actually going to be covering a bit of those changes to the format that might be a little too oppressive.
We might see one or two today.
I got to say a huge shout out to the dual commander community. If you don't speak English, I'm sorry, but maybe we'll translate for you. Thank you for making that announcement that we're going to need some changes.
Yeah.
We definitely are going to need to look at the field a little bit tighter and closer based on some of these things. I understand why pre-bans didn't happen, because you don't know what's going to be busted.
No, I mean, I don't really love the pre-ban thing either. If they do want to start doing it, I'll support it, but I would rather see how the new cards do in the format than see them just go away right away.
Right. Like, at least see that there's actually an impact to the format before you're going to make the decision, oh, you know what? I'm just going to cut this thing from here. Let's not give anybody an opportunity. I do enjoy the capability to try out these decks and see the decks. And today we get to see it. I know personally, I got to play Nadu, and my opponent played Solitaire very well. And he won. Well,
I'm pretty sure match one's going to be a very fun match of Solitaire.
We'll see. This could go either way. We got our first matchup today. It's going to be over Old Stickfingers versus Nadu. So, yeah, champion in the chat saying same. Like, I think that they did a phenomenal job of playing Solitaire. There was nothing more fun. There was actually an interesting time during the tournament where it actually went overtime, and I had to tag out to one of my friends because I wanted to take a quick bio break because it was already overtime, but I needed him to know, was it going to fizzle or do I win?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have time to watch this. I can't interact. I can't do anything. You just do your thing.
This is kind of funny, though, because it's Nadu versus Stickfingers here.
Yeah.
And I was also playing Stickfingers this night. And I also played against Nadu.
So I think Champion nailed exactly what this is in the chat here. It's Solitaire versus Solitaire.
Yeah. It's whoever's going to combo first and doesn't have interaction.
Exactly. Yeah. And basically, all right, so let's get in the deck list. Should we get in the deck list?
Yeah.
All right.
Hi over here. Slobbering on me.
So here's Old Stickfingers. What is old? You are the master of this deck right now. What is this deck trying to do?
The master. I've played it for 1 week. And I'm not going to play it again.
Really? You just gave up on the deck?
No, I like to play something new every week, you know.
Okay, all right.
Next week I might be the villain.
Okay.
And play Nadu.
But what exactly is this deck doing? I know it only has one creature. Why is it?
Yeah. So you're playing Stickfingers on cast. You get to flip through your deck until you find a creature and put it into your graveyard. The only creature you're going to be playing is Hoarding Broodlord, and this is your main combo piece. So basically, like, funny thing is, I built this deck. This is my first time playing it this week, and I didn't know that Stickfingers was a cast trigger. So like, I would just keep letting the control player counter my Stickfingers. I'm like, oh, sad. I need this Broodlord in my graveyard. I've got like 3 animate spells in my hand, and I can go off.
Yeah.
But yeah,
what's the cast trigger here? It's like you read the card to understand the card?
I didn't read the card. I just like kind of assumed. But yeah, it makes it a lot better being cast, because against a control deck, you can just slam this guy, not really care unless you think they have like a graveyard removal thing. But yeah, then you get the Broodlord in, and then from there, as long as you have like, if you have enough mana and 1 reanimate spell, you can go off. But most of the time you need 2 reanimate spells, or like a reanimate spell and a tutor, and then you can basically reanimate the Hoarding Broodlord, and it will get tutor through your deck for a card, put it face down, and your spells that you cast from exile have Convoke as well.
Yep.
So what happens is, like, you animate this thing, and then you're going to search for the first spell. Is going to be Sacrifice, which is somewhere in here. It's right here. So it's 1 mana, sacrifice one of your creatures, make mana equal to its mana value. So what you do is you Convoke it with the Hoarding. Mm-hmm. So it's free 8 mana.
Nice.
The Hoarding goes back to the graveyard, and then you reanimate it again, and then that time you can go grab Saw in half, and that's going to let you
cut it in two,
get two, and then you're going to go grab like another reanimate spell, and like you can grab 2 reanimate spells, and then or like a reanimate spell and something to give you more mana or a tutor or something. And basically, like as long as you have the 2 animate spells on the Broodlord, like you can go infinite, and it's going to finish the game with the Tendrils of Agony, which is somewhere in here. Storm, 4 mana, target player loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. So
yeah. And just, for those players out there, this is the weakness of the deck. So if you're a counter player or you're someone who plays...
Well, counter won't stop this because Storm, it happens even if it gets counter. Like they can counter the first one, but all of them go on the stack.
All of them go on the stack.
But if you give yourself like Hexproof or something, like Veil of Summer is the best possible answer.
I don't know. I played a nice little...
Well, the one that you were playing, could also stop it. But like if you give yourself Hexproof is like the best answer. So.
Absolutely. That's why I put it in the deck. I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff there where people try to tendril use. I know that Zach has tendrils me so many times. Like, there's a lot of things in Dual Commander. Like, Hexproof actually matters. So, playing those 1-mana cantrips, it may be something you want to add to your deck. I mean, obviously, white and green are the 2 that are the best known for giving yourself Hexproof. But great cards. All right, let's go to Nadu. Let's see what's Nadu doing.
Yeah. This is the new one. This is the big baddie of the format. We just got out of Eris season, and now we're coming into Nadu season, I believe. Let's explain where this goes dumb mode.
Okay.
Because, like, I didn't think it was going to be that good because I didn't notice that it was every creature got that ability. I thought it was literally just twice a turn.
No.
And I was like, and it's in blue-green. Like, those colors aren't great. But then you, like, go grab a Lightning Greaves or a Shuko, and you have this 0-mana equip that you can just keep going off with. And it gets insane. And eventually you're getting like a Scute Swarm down, which is somewhere in here, I am assuming. And you're playing a bunch of these like Tribute Mages, Trinket Mages to go grab your combo piece. But Scute Swarm, it goes infinite, that and Nantuku, Springheart Nantuku. This one's not like fully infinite, but it's pretty close. Like it gets you there pretty much 90% of the time. So, but Scute Swarm is like the definitive win.
Yeah.
And then... You can
now, Scute Swarm doesn't have haste. What's given it haste?
Oh, that's what I was about to say. Once you get all those lands that come into play untapped for some reason, you can go get a Finale of Devastation and cast it for X equals 10 or more and just give them all trample and haste. And then you kill them. It's warping multiple different formats right now. Like we're seeing it in this format, we're seeing it in CDH, we're seeing it in Modern, Legacy. And even Vintage is playing this dumb thing now.
Absolutely.
Like it's just
that powerful. I mean, it's very Shuko. Can you put that card up real quick?
Yeah, Shuko's like it went from 50 cents to like $25-$30 now.
They're saying $40 on paper just on this thing right now.
Yeah, I guess for a foil.
For a foil version of it. It's insane. The value of that one card.
Yeah.
Then for those out there, I don't know if I would heavily invest in that. I can't give you financial advice, but I'll tell you if this gets banned, Shuko's just going to go back to the ether again. So. If you missed the hype train, figure out a way to beat it and hope that Modern fixes it quick. I hope. Well, I don't know. I mean, Modern seems like they have a couple of good answers.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to get banned in multiple formats, and we're going to see Shuko drop again.
Yeah,
but
so don't overinvest your money in something that's going to drop. I can't give you advice. I'm just recommending to you, don't waste your bank on something that
buy high, never sell. But I'm noticing that Zach's list is a lot more on the side of protection spells as well. A lot of these.
Lot Speech asked the question: does it reset Nadu if you blink him? Yes, it does.
Yes.
It's a brand new. Like it's just like if they remove it and you resummon it.
Yeah.
Which actually had happened to me. I tried to remove it to get rid of the combo because I thought that was the appropriate way to get rid of the combo, and he ended up hitting an extra land, which triggered him the ability to recast the Nadu. Which then reset what he was doing all over again. I'm just like, all right.
It's a very dumb card. Yeah. And like I said, we're definitely not going to see it for very long. So we're going to show you some games today of it, but I don't think we're going to have very many weeks of this card being in our format.
And let's find out. I mean, we got a nice little first one matchup with Tony versus Zach.
This is a combo matchup here, so this will be interesting.
This is something Zach and I spent probably about 3 to 4 hours.
And I was trying to say, it seems like Zach's list is more on the line of like protection spells. A lot of these Nadu lists are playing a lot of counter spells and stuff, but it seemed like he had a lot of protection spells and not as many counters. So that might be relevant in this matchup as far as the Stickfingers player being able to get his reanimates off and stuff.
We got an 8 versus an 8. Let's see, the chase is on. 9.
And Stickfingers plays a lot of discard as well, so.
That's true. Yeah, they do have a lot of disruption. Stickfingers does have a lot of good interaction in the early games. I enjoy. I think that makes it the only part where it gets interactive is in the early steps.
Yeah,
it's later in the game if you don't have that interaction, it just feels like solitaire. And we'll do our best to start walking you through the phases of all the effects here. There's a lot of triggered abilities that go in a stack. I know that once this thing makes you two...
Zach is holding a Ponder, Brazen Borrower, and then we've got a Wooded Foothills. And the Brazen Borrower is very good because actually what can happen is if Tony goes to reanimate the Broodlord, he can bounce it with the Brazen Borrower with the ETB on the stack, and he won't be able to go grab the sacrifice to...
Yes.
So
and won't have to convoke
the Brazen Borrower is probably going to come up in this game, I'm going to assume, unless it gets discarded to a hand disruption spell.
That's true. But yeah, it's a good read. And we got Tony. It looks like he's going down to 6 on this one for that. When you're mulliganing, is it hurt you that bad?
Not really.
What would be a bad number for you to mulligan to?
5 doesn't feel great anytime, but
yeah,
I think you can. I'm pretty sure I saw this deck win on a mull to 4 one time on a live stream.
Okay, wow.
Because like all you really need is a reanimate spell, and like your commander goes and puts your thing to the graveyard, guaranteed. Right. So like you just need like 2 reanimate spells, and you're pretty good. Now that's like not getting through any interaction at all, but if you're going to 4, you kind of just have to go for it.
Right. Yeah. Hey, whatever your hand is, it's got to be there.
Yeah.
Luckily, he only has some back 1.
Yeah. Right. So going to 6.
6 on the play.
So
probably land go, or do you think a removal spell?
Blooming Marsh pass.
And notice in this matchup, playing against you guys several times, like it's usually land go. 9 times out of 10, it's land go. So
got a Chicago Ponder here.
Yeah.
Man, this camera angle is great. You can see everything. So we got a tropical island, a tribute mage, and a trinket mage and an island. We're gonna shuffle that away.
Nice. We even got some upgrades in the studio recent here. And even tell those people that haven't been there, we just got the TVs to work now. So from a distance, you can watch the gameplay.
Yeah, without having to put any shadows over the table.
Exactly. Awesome upgrades. We got a lot more coming. I can't wait for the championship series. That thing is just going to be absolutely outstanding. We got some massive construction, some big stuff happening.
Putting a lot of work into that.
Yeah. Come the 10th, I think all participants are really going to be enjoying the experience. We've got some food that we'll be having available for everyone. We're going to have interviews between the breaks. Now, Spencer and I are going to be doing the broadcasting after the event happens, just so we have time, because we're both actually currently
we're going to be playing in it, hopefully.
Yeah.
Tony's going to go with that.
You were the week 1-3 leader, so we're going to see if where that stands at the end of this tournament here.
Tony's going to go Forest and see if he's got anything for us on turn 2.
Is this a turn you might want to play Stickfingers?
So you have to play Stickfingers for 3.
Okay.
So this is Spectre's Shriek. So this deck plays a lot of very bad discard spells. I'm not going to lie. This one's like you discard a card from their hand, and if it's not black, I think you have to exile a card from your own hand.
But you play these to make sure your combo pieces.
Yeah, like you got to combo off. And I think Brazen Borrow is definitely the pick. Well, or is this? Lotus? Yeah, you can. It's probably, it's got to be Brazen. Well, Lightning Greaves, though, is a combo piece with the Shuka, or the Nadu, though.
Huge enabler. It's got that 0% equip.
So but Brazen Borrower can just stop Tony's combo altogether. So
in this situation, I mean,
I think I'm taking Brazen Borrower here.
Okay, all right. I think legitimately, I haven't played Stickfingers yet.
He's going to take the Lightning Greaves.
I think I'm with Tony on this one.
It depends what's on him. Okay. Huh. It's kind of interesting to me. I don't know what is in his hand, though.
Yeah, and he knows that he's just a couple turns from being able to just basically go burr. This would have been the turn you played the Greaves. And the next turn, he just started ramping out really fast.
That's true. I don't know what's in Tony's hand, so
yeah. Maybe he has some kind of removal, or maybe he wasn't thinking that far ahead. I think right now, I think Tony's really concerned about making sure that the Nadu doesn't go burr.
Yeah,
and wants to.
I mean, this matchup is for sure like whoever goes off first is going to win. But so the Lightning Greaves is probably the right play, but it just sucks now that when Tony wants to go off, he can't do it until he gets rid of that Brazen Borrower. Yeah. Now you said the old Stickfingers actually has to be on 3. Is there a reason for that? What's the rule? X has to be 1. X has to get it. So it says like on casts you get 1 or less creature, X or less creatures from your river. So.
So Tony had bottomed that from his opening hand and instantaneously knew that. Now, technically, here he does have the opponent does have the opportunity to
look through his
entire deck because he would have flipped through his entire deck.
Yeah.
Now I know that Zach is quite familiar with this deck and how it works, so I'm sure he was okay. Didn't really care too much about the interaction.
Yeah.
And we do want to speed this up because these games, the biggest issue I think right now with these decks is it takes forever to get through to get these turns. So the games are just going at these elongated turns, and then you don't know are they going to fizzle or not.
Yeah, I know.
Stickfingers can fizzle, and so can Nadu.
When we were watching you face Nadu, I think y'all were like 10 or 15 minutes over time.
Yeah, well, they called in his turn. They called time, and it went 20 minutes afterwards.
Yeah,
and it was just his turn. I never got another step after that.
Nope.
I had to go take a break, go take a bio break, and I said, "Please, can you take care of this while I go take care of some stuff?"
Yeah, there's a lot of steps. You can concede, but I guess there isn't a opportunity that they fizzle.
Yeah, but and I knew I win if they do. It does happen. With
Stickfingers, I'm usually like, hey, I've got the 2 animate spells. Do you have any interaction? If you don't, you're dead. Mm-hmm. And some people will want to see it to understand how it works, but most people are like, okay, yeah, I'll scoop.
Yeah, right. Lotus Cobra, adding a mana, and just pass the turn. Yeah. Okay.
Not going to play Nadu out into removal or anything.
Well, I don't think he has it because Nadu's 3.
He could have played Nadu there.
Yes, he could have actually. Right. Yep.
Just gonna keep it back from removal, but
now the Brazen Borrower was bounce effect. What is that? 2?
Yeah. So he's holding that up too. Mm-hmm. So.
And a smart heads up play from Zach here knows that
because if he didn't hold that up, then he could just die to double reanimate,
which could make things a little more difficult for him to try to go off.
City of Solitude, though, that's gonna stop that Brazen Borrower.
Okay.
So this card says each player can only cast spells during their turn.
Oh, a good lockdown card, kind of like the Teferi effect. Yeah. So in green, that's interesting.
Yeah. And so you've got that in Defense Grid that you play. So
City of Solitude is a very broken card. Yes, you're right, champion.
Yeah. So Tony's probably just going to freely go off next turn unless Zach goes off this turn.
Yeah. It also says it can activate abilities. So
okay.
It's huge.
It's even better than Teferi.
Exactly. There's no channel effects, no other things that you can use to try to get around that. So
it's pretty good. I haven't got to play this card at all.
It's a Visions card, isn't it? All right, so he's just going to bounce it now.
Okay.
All right. Makes sense. Get the thing off the board. That way he can pretend and bluff that he has open. Looks like my Cradle was...
he has a Harbinger of Seas in hand.
Okay. So you think this is the turn he's going to try and Nadu off?
He might just play... I don't even think Harbinger's good here. Tony has 3 basics down.
Yeah, not the greatest against this deck. It's interesting he got to see his basics, but
this is the new Magus of the Moon for blue.
Yeah, this thing's been quite impressive, and I know Merfolk people are extremely happy.
They're so happy.
Yeah, this thing it's going to punish those greedy mana bases. I was expecting this card to have a bigger impact than Nadu when I was starting to look through. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until I saw the Nadu deck list I was just like, holy crap!
Yeah,
this is insane.
Yeah. And there's so many different ways you can build it as well.
Mm-hmm. So 2, we think we're going to see a reanimate start going off, or maybe an abrupt decay to get rid of something. Really can't tell. He's putting aside all the basics he knows he has access to here. Interesting. Tony deep in the tank. I wonder if he's thinking, should I go off? All he needs is 2.
He has an island over there.
Yeah.
He could have a Force Spike.
Very true.
Recurring Nightmare. Okay.
Well, I think we got to get him on. So this one does what? You can't read the cards. So I'll go ahead and pause.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a 3-mana enchantment that you can sacrifice a creature and return the Recurring Nightmare to your hand to reanimate a creature from your graveyard. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah,
and to remind those that may not have known and that haven't seen our advertisements, we allow 5 proxies per.
Yep.
The dual commander competition and everything is a really high bar for people to get into just because of the cost of cards. Now, it does ban a lot of the Power 9 and the ridiculously $1,000.
But there's still dual lands. There's still reserve list cards. There's expensive cards in this format.
Absolutely.
Recurring Nightmare is not like a very expensive card, but also Tony just built this deck, so I don't think he had time to order it. So,
and that's the other beautiful part here is that we allow them time. So if you mail it or get mailed from TCG Player, there's oftentimes like I can't play this deck because I didn't get it from.
But with this, you can still play it if as long as you're below 5 proxies or within that range. Yeah.
Yep. You're 100% able to do it. And this hopefully bringing more people in. This is seriously one of my favorite formats to play in Magic. And I think legitimately the best control of the format is being done by the Commander community that's out there in England. Or not England, just I can't remember where.
Europe.
All right, good read. So he had to return it to his hand, so he sacrificed his Stickfingers to return that only soul 1 creature. It's going to allow him to look. So we're going to see, all right, looking for a stifle effect, you think?
All right, so we're probably going to go grab Sacrifice here. That is usually how the combo starts. Let's see.
We're going to allow him to start searching through his deck to see the pieces, because we don't know exactly what's in Tony's hand. So we don't know if he has a sacrifice or if he has it, but he's going to put this face down, and he's going to be able to convoke it with the dragon here.
It's funny, like Stickfingers used to be very top tier, and they were talking about banning Stickfingers for a while, actually, but because it was before the Broodlord came out, and it used to run a 3-piece combo, so you would have to pay the X equals 3 for Stickfingers, but it would win by I don't remember what the creature was called, but they ended up, instead of banning the Stickfingers that everybody wanted banned, they like banned the combo creatures that they were running.
Yeah. And sometimes that's what you want to do, because old Stickfingers does have its own other engine that could be fun in Dual Commander. So sometimes you just got to get rid of the enabler.
So like Stickfingers was very top tier. They banned it, or not banned Stickfingers, but the engine. And then Broodlord got spoiled, and everybody was like, oh, wow, Stickfingers is playable again.
Yeah, it's all over again.
So that was nice, because it is nice to, like, instead of banning the commander, to try to ban the combo pieces and see if eventually they can come back around.
So old Stickfingers was kind of always a thing. Was there anything in Modern Horizons that just drove the interest to come bring this deck back in?
No, I think everybody built it before MH3 even came out. Wow, we're going to see a passing on the turn, so we don't have another. He must not have been able to go off that turn.
Yeah, Champion saying, meanwhile, Entomb
is banned.
Yeah. Which is another enabler. That would have been something that got really gross with this deck.
But we have Entomb in the command zone.
Yeah, right. So Tony chopping his blue Delta for
is Soul and Half banned? No. So that is the main combo piece in the deck. So basically, most of the time you grab Sacrifice, make 8 mana off of your Broodlord, reanimate it again, and then go grab Soul and Half, and that's like what gets your whole combo started.
Yeah, and Champion over here saying Entomb banned, but Entomb Commander, absolutely fine.
Yeah,
that's perfectly reasonable. I don't understand what the question is. Like, just because you have 100% access to it at 100% of the time, why would that be bad?
Yeah. And we are seeing Nadu come into play here, so I'm interested to see if we're comboing off.
Combo off here. Just a reminder here, this Harbinger is making that blue Delta an island, and this Yavimaya Cradle. So how does the interaction work? The Yavimaya Cradle says everything's a forest, but it turns every non-basic into an island. So what's the interaction?
It should be an island.
Yeah,
it's
with no other effect.
Yeah, it doesn't give
it's a layered ability. Yeah. Yep, and it really doesn't matter. This kind of Blood Moon kind of like auto, supersedes all other abilities.
Yep.
So it's
just an island, no longer a tropical, or it's not a tropical island. It's just an island. Now
with the Lotus combo and the Nadu out, we've got a massive energy, a massive combo chain going.
If we can get a Shuko out here. I saw him tapping 1 mana. Is he bluffing it?
Yeah. So Tony is saying something, and it looks like Zach's like...
I'm curious what Tony put under the Broodlord.
Zach just passed back.
I'm very curious what he has under the Broodlord.
Yeah, right?
Because I was surprised to not see him go off that turn, but he might not have had the second reanimate or a tutor to get it. So
maybe the Son half, you think? Maybe just get the engine going?
Could be.
Looking like he's trying to tap 4 here. Interesting. So he's playing...
He does still have Recurring Nightmare. Squandered Resources. You know what this card is?
Yeah. Oh, you want to tell the crew? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's sack a land to add mana of whatever color the land could produce. So.
Yep. Just an extra ramp card. Turns 4 lands into...
So we're going to see Tony sack this swamp after floating a black mana. So he's going to have 2 black floating.
That's going to be really important. I really appreciate them putting this out here, because this deck does a lot of floating mana.
2 black floating. Storm count is 1.
So
that's going to get sacked to the Squandered Resources. That is an island. I guess what he's asking is Yeah, because I don't think that. So if he were to sack that Blooming Marsh to that, it would make a blue mana.
Blue. Yeah, because that's all I can produce.
So now we're going to see Beseech the Queen. So this can search for a card with mana value equal to or less than the amount of lands you control. So this will grab 2 or less. It's
probably going to Demonic Tutor, you think?
Could be a tutor, could be another reanimate spell. Let's see what he gets.
All right.
It does have to reveal it because it has to check that it's 2 or less from the lands.
One of the few searchers, when a searcher says it stipulates any kind of additional cost or requirement, it always has to be revealed.
Yep.
So did he use the 3 floating mana to cancel?
I think he grabbed Reanimate. We can't really see it. It's at the very bottom of the screen, but it is Reanimate, which is 1 mana. And we're going to see Sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Okay. Getting that 8 mana, so he's going to have 8 floating.
So we haven't been checking the storm count, but we'll figure that out. I believe that's what
that other die was supposed to represent.
Yeah, so it should be at like 3 or 4 right now.
Yeah.
So we have just 11 mana.
Just 2.
That was the 3rd spell, I guess.
Is it?
Yeah, Sacrifice, Beseech, and
now here comes the Reanimate.
Resources.
So he's going to pay 8 life to return this thing back and get another tutor search. Going to 12.
Now we're probably grabbing Saw in Half.
Yep. This is one of those key... It's really interesting because Saw in Half was that Unglued series that had half the set was legal and half the set wasn't.
Yeah.
And there's like maybe 4 cards that were actually of any relevance. The Mind Goblin... The
Lifetime Pass Holder.
Yes.
But a lot of the stuff got banned because they banned all stickers in all formats.
Well, I think they needed to. I think it was just going to look ridiculous.
It was very dumb.
We're getting to the point where we're going to need to have that what's that long case you always carry with you?
A quiver.
Yeah, a quiver. Everyone's just
going to be for one deck because you're going to have your deck and then your traction board and your sticker board and then all right. So yeah, we did get the Saw in Half.
So we got Storm Count 5 here. This allows him to create 2 versions of that dragon.
Yep. Notably, they're untapped as well, so they can convoke the spells that they grab.
Exactly. And the power and toughness on these?
They're going to be the exact same. Or, well, they're half. Yeah, they're half rounded down.
Yep. So it'd be 3 3s?
Yeah.
2 3 dragons with flying. Ferocious. Not really. The Nadu kind of looks at those 3 3s like nothing, but it doesn't matter because this is essentially what he's trying to do for the combo. And
yeah, we're just comboing off here. And Zach didn't have any interaction, so it's probably going to be game over.
Yeah.
Unless he has Veil of Summer. He could stop the tendrils.
I've actually seen a couple plays like that where some guy was just like, all right, go ahead. And I actually did it to you. That one match where you went through the entire combo and I just sat here with 1 open white. And he was just like, all right, and I'm going to tendrils you. And I said, I gained 2 life and I got X-proof. So my turn. Game.
All right, so we got Cabal Ritual. And we do have Threshold, so that'll make 5 mana.
Ooh. It's in a total of 12 mana. Storm count 6 or 7.
Persist. Grab the thing back. Storm count 7. Go search again. Yawgmoth's Will.
Yeah, so now
Zach's making him do it. Oh, he showed him the Yawgmoth's Will to be like, yeah, you want to scoop, man? It's over.
I think
Zach's making him do it. Does he have the Yawgmoth's Will or the Veil of Summer?
Or he could just be trying to help us out because one of the things we do want to teach people is how these combos work. So just showing the card really doesn't help people at home exactly how this combo works. And to avoid any kind of confusion, those sheep token are copies of the dragon. They're just there to represent the dragon itself. Lot Speech says the Pure Abyss band.
I haven't seen that one played, so it might be.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it.
I'm gonna pull it up now.
And what's really interesting here is he's using the sacrifice to sack to add some added mana here. Sacrificing those tokens actually adds 8 mana.
Yeah,
it's absolutely insane because the actual.
We're gonna see the tendrils here. Do we have the Veil of Summer?
I don't know. He's at Storm Count 10, so this is gonna be.
He didn't have it. He just made him do it.
Yeah, well, that allows people to see it. So. Like we showed you in the beginning, the tendrils, their storm count was 10. It drains for 10.
Peer into the Abyss is not banned.
All right. Good look up. Thanks. All right, game 1 going to Zach here. I'm sorry, to Tony.
Tony, yep.
One of these buttons, right? I need to change these things to the number by. I was gonna do that the other day, and I just completely forgot to get that picture from my graphics designer. But yeah, Tony, congratulations on the first win. Now Zach's going to be on the play, which I think is going to be a huge asset.
Oh yeah,
to this deck.
Combo matchup. You want to be on the play.
It's kind of like why I like my Sorin deck. My Sorin deck I put together just recently using the new Sorin from Modern Horizons 3.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it because I played Hate Bears. I liked some of the combos that I had in it, but it has a lot of disruption interaction.
Yeah, so you don't really mind being on the draw.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where I feel like I didn't really take like a complete loss, but because I definitely have to see the pieces.
Sylvan Safekeeper here from Zach.
It's just good to have them. So Swamp, let's see. What do you think? Hand hate? Nope. Just pass back.
Ooh, we drew the Shuko for turn.
Okay. I think we're about to see the bird go burr. Let's get
Maybe
some
not
burr
this turn,
in the chat.
And you definitely want to get the Shuko down because as much hand disruption as the Stickfingers deck plays, you do not want it sitting in your hand.
No. I think we got to get the burr in the chat. Get the burr in the chat, guys. Get it going because I think we're just about to see the bird go burr.
Safekeeper is so busted with Nadu. Yes, it is because it gives Shroud and it also targets.
Yes. Thanks, champion. Start the trend. Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word.
Now we're going to see Tony set here for Collective Brutality. What are we doing?
All right. So I imagine.
Are we going to escalate it off?
I imagine.
He might just be. Yeah, he's escalating, so he's probably trying to hit the Sylvan Safekeeper and look at his hand.
Okay. Discarding a card here.
It discards an instant or sorcery, notably, so it shouldn't hit anything in Zach's hand at the moment.
Yeah, and not enough to hurt him because this is...
we see another busted green-blue commander in the hand, Edric. That was banned forever.
Really? No instant or sorcery, so it's going to be a whiff. 19 is passing back. The start. The bird is the word, man. What we should have done before we started this whole thing was get the Peter clip here and just go, bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word.
Still banned as a commander. Yeah, I find it funny that Edric is still banned, but we're allowed to have this. I saw a Twitter post the other day that said, one blue-green is the most busted mana cost in the history of the game. We had Oko, we had Nadu, we had Uro,
right?
Edric, all of them. One blue-green. If you ever see one blue-green, just assume that it's busted.
Right. It's funny because most people think Simic is the weakest, and I legitimately think that the problem
that's what happened.
Wincon.
No, what happened is it was the weakest for the longest time, and then I think people just stomped all over it so bad that Wizards of the Coast was like, you know what? We're just going to print every busted card, and it's going to be Simic. You see a Force of Negation off the Surveil. Are we keeping that?
I would keep that.
We are going to keep that.
Yeah, that is a key answer just in case he's not able to go infinite. And
yeah, I mean, he can tap out for Nadu here and not be scared of anything.
No, he's going to tap out, but he's going to get at least two triggers.
Two triggers off the Shuko.
If it is successful. Black, not really known for counter magic.
Notably, I've seen a lot of people play this deck and they like swap the Shuko back and forth. You can just like
you can literally just say activate it again.
Yeah,
you don't have to.
They like keep swapping it between creatures, but you don't have to.
Okay.
I don't know what card that was that he just revealed.
Nope, land for turn. Jeez.
Yeah, the fact that these lands come in untapped is just so dumb.
Oh, pass back. So
didn't have another creature to keep the chain going.
The chain going, yeah.
Next turn, though, we have a lot of mana to work with.
Yeah, I think next turn, if Tony doesn't answer now, I don't think casting Stickfingers is going to get him out of the situation.
No. I mean, Stickfingers cast definitely doesn't get you out of the situation. That's just the first step that you have to take to even go off.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what he's going to do here.
Or do you think...
I think he has to. He's behind. Like, I mean...
So, you wouldn't keep open mana. You wouldn't just try to make sure that, like, you could bluff, maybe get him to hesitate a little bit?
I don't think so. You do have to swap with Lightning Greaves, though.
Oh, with Lightning Greaves. Yes, because it has Shroud.
Yeah.
Because you can't target the thing. Yes, thank you very much, Champion. You said you don't have... You do, when using the Lightning Greaves, move the creatures because the creature has Shroud.
That is pretty cool. I did not know that.
Oh, right off the top. There you go. All right. I feel like that's a concession. I mean, good that he had it.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably going off here this next turn.
So...
We'll see.
We'll have to watch how many creatures he puts out here. If he gets a Nissa, it's just over. The new Nissa from the
one that makes landfall, make a mana second landfall, you get a elf or elemental.
I mean, Lotus Cobra does similar things, but those that infinite mana base, just I was trying to keep track for my opponent just so I had something to do.
Yeah.
I literally was just writing on my pad and I was like, what are you making? Green? Okay. And blue? And black. Interesting. Good choice today. I like that. It was a good choice. Good choice. Okay. We're gonna do with the finer things by choosing different colors just because I don't care. I'm going burr. All right, untap. We're gonna see
Saga
two in the saga. Yeah, 2 in the saga. But is this a turn? We're just gonna see the burr. We know. Did he keep on top of that surveil land?
Yeah, it was a force negation.
Yeah. So we're gonna get our first target online. There's a land. Jesus. Does it again.
Into days.
Into days. So now he's got protection for whatever. I don't think Tony would have had anything in here. There are a couple free mana spells I don't even think Tony's playing. No. Is the black
black
evoke,
flare?
Black flare, yeah. I think.
So you could run that, I guess, but I don't know how great it would be.
All right, Tidebinder.
Tidebinder revealed now. This is a Mausoleum Wanderer down. I'm gonna equip it again.
Get himself another land.
Hit an island.
So
are we just gonna play the Tidebinder for more triggers?
I imagine like
or you can activate Saga. That tap in two, so we're not activating Saga. What is this card?
Flying, and I think this is the one that gets bigger on draws. Maybe
so we got Binds of the Basswood, and then Green Sun Zenith. Okay. Oh, can't we just go grab Scoot Swarm now?
I believe he can. Now he's not going to have haste, but he is going to have the ability to keep triggering the.
And he has 2 fetch lands down this one thing. So we're gonna crack those.
It's gonna have to crack those. Yeah. He thought he had. He thought he still had the Cradle from last game. So he's gonna have to take the 2 for this for the fetches.
On a 16, I'm assuming we're grabbing the Scoot Swarm here. I could be wrong though.
Mm-hmm.
You got 2 more triggers while the Scoot Swarm's down. If you hit any land in those, you're pretty good.
Yeah.
And if he stacks his deck after he.
Oh yeah, just stacks
it's real good.
Yeah.
Put 2 fetch lands on top.
You know what I like about being on camera is we can catch people. If we legitimately think you're cheating, we'll catch you. We'll find it out. I think the community will catch you. Just absolutely will not let this happen.
We're shuffling, even though we're about to be shuffling again.
Yeah, but
I don't know. He might not even be casting the Green Sun this turn. I think we are though.
It looks like it. That's 4. That could be a scoot. Can you find a cheat?
Probably grabbing the Scoot Swarm, I believe.
Probably. We'll try ourselves, Polly. We will try. Maybe the chat can help.
Do we know who this is?
Yes, we do. We do.
Oh, we do. Okay.
I finally found out. It took me a couple days.
Okay.
I found you, Polly. I found you.
You have to whisper this to me. I don't know who it is.
No, I'm not.
Oh, we're grabbing Endurance. Okay. So, okay. That makes a little bit more sense because it's safer. Endurance is Broodlord back into the deck. So, like, we could have grabbed Scoot Swarm and tried to go off, but I think this is the safer play.
I think we need to do a public service announcement. Please help Polly.
Brittany, I miss
he wants you to come back. He wants you to come back. Come on. So we're going to get 2 more triggers off from the Shuko from the Endurance Mage. I'm going to re-equip here.
What is this?
That looks like the Mana Spiral. No, that was the Mana Leak, I want to say. It's one of the Strixhaven.
1 in a blue, so it might be Mana Leak. We're going to swing for 4 in the air. We're out of equips this turn. We've done all of our 2. Our 2 per turn is done.
I just don't feel like Tony's in a good position to come back. I mean, having that Endurance, that's a good heads-up play from Zach here. Yeah. I left him shifting the Shuko over after the attack got in.
Yeah, makes sense because, well, I mean, he doesn't have open mana to activate the Mausoleum Wanderer, but...
Yeah. No, he does have a Daze, so all those lands can just be returned to hand.
Yeah.
And I didn't see him discard a hand size, so that was just kind of like the perfect turn.
Mm-hmm.
Just playing everything
waste any resources.
He's still discarding a hand size.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess Tony caught him. It's like, how many cards do you have in your hand? All right. Tapping 1 for Fatal. Notably, that does trigger the Nadu. And we'll put a land in play.
Haven.
So now he can still actually respond to this. Fatal Haven not going to save the 1/1, but there might be a reason for Daze. What do you think? Just to get another trigger off from it?
What are we gonna do?
It's like he was trying to activate the Pendlehaven for something.
You know what's cool about Pendlehaven?
What's that?
It targets.
Yes, it does. Oh, and he's just...
I was gonna say we almost missed our Nadu trigger. That one does have to come into play tapped.
Mm-hmm. That one, the card says specifically. Go figure, right? Now I'm a little confused. Okay, why did the growth there? Is that a hexproof card?
Vines, yeah.
Yes. Okay, it's hexproof.
Yeah, it gives a shroud or whatever. Your creature can't be targeted.
Yeah, I actually agree with Tony on that that concession right there. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Whenever your dragon gets put back in the deck after you had to go get it into the graveyard, it's usually game over.
Yeah, especially if he's not even going to give him the opportunity to sacrifice his commander or do anything like that.
It's rough.
Yeah. So if old Stickfinger sticks around and anyone playing green, Endurance is a good card to have. Yeah,
Endurance, very good.
I actually got some support in one of the earlier weeks when I was playing that Gruul Aggro. Got reminded by some of the dual commander players. I was like, did you have Endurance? And I was like, I didn't even think about Endurance. And that's the problem about this format is that it really has
so many cards in
every card in the format. Like the choices are infinite.
Yeah.
And I legitimately think that there's some broken decks that someone just hasn't put together yet.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much open room, and there are some cool combos out there. I think we've seen some really neat decks, but...
I was actually playtesting last night, and I was playing Thalia, and she seems pretty sick.
Oh, yeah.
Thalia's just having the 2-mana commander in your command zone that
already
taxes your opponent is so good. I was playing it against Shieldred the Apocalypse.
I've seen a lot from that other Blitz.
Blitzelberg was playing some Shieldred.
Great channel, by the way.
Shieldred and Glacial Chasm is pretty dumb.
Great channel. Keep the content coming.
I do love that channel. I watch a lot.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Gives us some really good ideas, and it really helps out the community to see what's out there. It's kind of like what we're trying to do ourselves, trying to grow the community, get people aware of the format. Trust me when I say this is by far one of the best Magic the Gathering formats out there.
Yes.
I'm so happy that Wizards finally made it official where they're going to start making this.
Man, this hand from Zach looks busted.
Oof, yeah, it does.
It's got a Delighted Halfling. It had Springheart and Nantuko. Oof. And protection spells.
Oh, grief. Champion says, Brittany...
Know your worth.
I love our chat. So if you're out there, I see you in the Twitch land. I see you. If you're out there, come out in the X land, actually. If you want to come out here, I know that the X doesn't actually have a comment section. So if you want to get a free pack, come over to us on Twitch, and we'll help you get that free pack. I mean, you're welcome to keep watching. I appreciate it. I'm not monetized on that one, but you're welcome to keep watching on the X app. But if you want to come over here to Twitch, we're giving away packs. All you got to do is say hi. That's it. We're going to give this away. I'll get your information. We don't hold anything.
It's free real estate.
It's free real estate. It's free real estate.
All right, so I believe we're going to see this halfling come down. Yes.
All right, so now there's uncounterable.
Oh, man. It's not good for the green-black player.
One of the... Oh, and double black, too.
Binding Negotiation. So this is a new one. You get to look at their hand and discard a card. Or you can put a card that was in exile back to the graveyard or something. It's a weird one.
Interesting. It's another one from Modern Horizons, right?
This one's from Outlaws of Thunder Dungeon. So I think we're taking the Springheart.
Snakeskin Veil. Is that 2 forms?
2 protection spells. It's got to be the Nantuko. Because that's one of the key combo pieces with Nantuko.
And guaranteed would have been played next turn uncounterable. Yeah. So you got to...
Well, it wouldn't have been uncounterable because it's enchantment, but it doesn't matter.
No, legendary spells are uncounterable.
It's an enchantment creature, not a legendary.
Oh, enchantment. I thought it said legendary.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. He's facing green-black. I don't think we're countering.
I have 1 counter on my Slimefoot and Squee deck. I've gotten people with that Boon Satyr. I got it.
What is it?
I think it was Boon Satyr.
No, that was the Bestow guy with Flash.
Right. It's Boon something. It's a 2-mana counter target summon. Pay 3
oh my god, we top deck Lightning Greaves.
Good grief.
Tony's got to be mad.
I would kind of be on tilt mode. He also doesn't have access to green, notably. So he can't even play his Stickfingers. So did he keep a greedy hand?
This is why I hate hand disruption spells. Every time you get them, they just top deck the same card, or they're going to top deck something better.
That, my friend, is what we we variance.
Oh yeah, we're on triple black here.
All black.
Triple black, no necropotence.
He's not going to be at this point. He's going to have to use his tutors just to get a land drop here.
Yeah,
he can't even act it.
We might just be dead this next turn, though.
Oh, honestly, with that board state, yes. Hey, just get that thing on the
probably
field.
just fetch for Dryad Arbor now, too.
Yeah, I would.
It is kind of... I guess it's not that risky, because even if Tony kills it here, like, you play a land and you can still play your commander.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think we're probably getting the Dryad
we know
Arbor.
he has it. We got to see his hand.
Dryad Arbor.
He's looking deep, so it's definitely something of value and importance.
That'll give him
to this deck.
6 Nadu triggers next turn.
Mhm.
Tony could have some sort of disruption, which equip is sorcery speed, so he might not have 6, but we'll see.
All right, going for
Okay,
surveil.
just going to surveil. Playing it
Also
safe.
a good card. Also a very good card. Polly says, I know, right? They aren't even playing. Yeah, we're not. That's what we're going to say about that. I love our chat.
We saw a forest. I don't think we want that.
I don't think. No. That's an instant bin. I mean, it could have ramped him out. No, he's got to draw for turn, so.
I think he already has lands.
Oh, he
so,
did. He does. So they
we got the Yavimaya. He's given Tony green.
Yep.
Give him the green mana.
Yeah. Dangerous. I think he thinks he's going to go off this turn.
Oh, yeah. He's got 4 triggers right here. Let's see what happens.
Going to use
Does
it.
Tony have any interaction?
Lightning Greaves. So again, this is the one where he has to move it because it gives the creature Shroud, so you can't actually target it again because of Shroud.
So Tony's thinking about responding here.
He knows that he's got 2 protection spells, 2 and green open. So.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter what Tony has
Yeah.
here, actually.
If Tony,
I mean, I saw the opening hand from Zach, and I was just like, this is insane.
yeah.
Oh, Malcolm?
Malcolm.
Okay.
You got a player that loves that card.
Yes, we do. We've got a Boreal Druid now.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to swap it back to Nadu. We've got a Mausoleum Wanderer. We're going to swap it back to Delight Halfling.
Looking for lands.
Well, notably, he did draw the Mausoleum Wanderer, so he did have another creature to keep going.
Yes. Yeah.
We're going to shock that in. Yes. We're going to keep trying to go off. What are we going to play?
Imagine the Mausoleum's going to come in here.
Swap it back to Nadu before you cast anything.
Makes sense. Give her protection.
We're just going to pass. Okay.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Leave an open interaction and also playing you have mind to give him access to green. Is he just being generous?
He could be.
Because we know he has 2 cards in hand that he could have used. But he's keeping open.
Now let me ask, Tony, why'd you play that on the green side? You could have played it on the black side and it was just...
You had perfect mana at this point. Everything tasked for black and green.
That would have been a bayou.
All
your lands are bayous.
Yeah. All your lands are bayous. All right, so here's the fun part.
So this is the worst part of this deck.
I said
you call it fun, and I call it the worst.
You, Casey, everyone I've played against this deck says, all right, let me do this thing where I'm going to show you every card in my deck.
It's always at the bottom, too. It's never up top. It's always in the bottom.
Tony actually had it on top that one game.
That's because
he
he fetched beforehand. He probably
City of Traders, another proxy in there. That one's expensive. Shielder of the Apocalypse, that's a $90 proxy. I don't understand why. Yeah, I thought
we're gonna see him flip through here, and it's gonna show like 10 proxies.
Yeah, right.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute here. Definitely not the deck you want to play if you're trying to cheat the proxy rolls. I'll tell you that right now. I'm surprised that was a shielded. I thought he had that, or did we have it in a different deck? That's interesting.
It was in Esper, so surprise,
yeah. Maybe he just didn't want to swap it over.
It is possible.
Now we're enabling laziness. You're welcome, Tony. I know you have the card. The cities is
forgivable.
forgivable.
See Malcolm flash in at the end step.
Smart.
Now we have 6 triggers coming next turn.
Oh, good grief. All right, let's get Burr in the trap. I think we're going to see the Burr turn. Bird. Bird is the word.
This is not fun.
I mean, it's fun for Zach. Be respectful.
Endurance too. He has it every time.
Yeah.
Look, he has it every time.
But at least now he knows where it is, so he doesn't have to.
All right, so now we have 8 triggers.
Yeah, but he knows where his dragon is, so it's so much easier just to find it. I'm just going to look at the bottom of my deck. Here you go.
We got a Shore Up.
All right.
Got a Edric. We got a Shuko. Oh god.
He's wondering where all my
now we have even more triggers.
Yes.
Well, I guess
No, it's not going to be
yeah,
more triggers.
Yeah, yeah. All right, now we're going to Malcolm.
He's wondering where his lands are. I guarantee you right now, he's just like, where are my lands?
Oh my goodness.
Where's this cheating getting all the lands from my deck thing coming from?
Canker Bloom.
Canker Bloom. This is another reason why I can...
Oh my god, he didn't hit any.
Wash Away?
Jesus.
Was that Wash Away?
He has a Birds of Paradise, so he has 2 more triggers if he wants, but... Jesus.
That was 8 non-land cards straight in a row. I mean,
he has a land for turn.
That's true. I forgot about that. All right, so here we go.
Mausoleum Wanderer. We got 2 more triggers.
No, yes, he.
All right, Spell Pierce.
That's 9. Hey, finally sees his
finally got one.
Okay.
Maybe throw a few more lands in the deck.
Yeah, right? Good grief.
I do like running at least 40 to 41 in this deck, just because you get a lot of... You want to be hitting your lands off your Nadu.
Yeah. Another non-land. No, he can't do that.
Well,
yes, there you go. Thank you.
We understand. Force negation, that's good too. To be fair, though, it doesn't matter now because the Brood Lord is in the deck again.
Yeah, exactly. And there's going to be no way for him to get in here. Do we see Bird Beatdown? I mean, the Bird Beat... That was... How many was that? That's 10. That was,
Stickfingers is
12.
dead now because there's no creatures in the graveyard for it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So at least that... Oh, we didn't do that last time. That was one of the things we missed about it.
Yeah.
His power and toughness is equal to the number of creatures in the graveyard. Is always going to be number 1/1 until, of course, Endurance comes out there.
Now we're swinging in for 5, 9 damage here.
We're seeing the Bird Beatdown strategy.
Down to 11. Oh, I guess it should have been 9, right?
And the Malcolm trigger.
+1.
We got a Malcolm trigger here. He seems to just not even care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We already have enough cards in our hand.
Yeah, it's like we're
discarding the hand
We're good.
size.
Imagine he has he's just looking to that full grip. I remember twice Patrick was looking at me. He's like, I got to discard a hand size. So I was like, I feel so bad
really?
for you. I'm so sorry for you. Oh, do you have to discard the hand size? Oh, no. The humanity of it all. So how much is Stickfingers going to have to cost now if he wants to recast it and get the ability?
5.
All right. So even with the commander tax on it, still needs to get that additional one.
Yep. 5 mana. And we know that Zach has a Force Negation up too. So
yeah. And I believe Days too. I believe, unless
that was the last game. Yeah.
Okay.
So he has his Mausoleum Wanderer open. He has he had a Wash Away, but Wash Away doesn't really matter because that's a cast trigger. And he also has Force Negation to stop any sort of reanimate. So I believe this game is probably coming to an end here.
Yeah. He's got 2 protection spells. I imagine he's going to keep both in hand. So Shuko irrelevant, another Mana Dork irrelevant. I didn't see anything.
A few of the other protection spells that he drew over the turn.
Yeah, Tony was
Tony's scooping it up.
Yeah, he sees
that
it right
one
on the wall.
had the writing on the wall. Yeah.
Didn't have a land, couldn't get into it regardless. Didn't have any extra mana. That
was fun though to watch the combo matchup.
Yeah.
To be fair though, like the Endurance 2 games in a row was probably very frustrating for Tony.
Right. No, I can definitely see where he's coming from. Kind of infuriating. So yeah, we're just seeing just how powerful the bird. The bird is the word. I think we actually have some more bird matches for you. Do we know who? I think
so. There was another player that was playing the Nadu deck, and that was Patrick. And I think he's
next round we're gonna have actually Felden, the new Daniel kid that's been traveling on
Felden
here.
Versus what?
Felden versus Atraxa. Ooh. So even
that
with all these changes,
good matchup for Felden, I would think.
And when I was talking to Court, he was just like, no, the deck's good enough. I don't need any changes. He didn't change a single card in his deck with Mono Horizons, right?
Okay.
Which really shocks me because I think there's some powerful cards you could have.
Yeah, I'm sure there are. Like there's a lot of good cards in the set.
To see round 2, we're going to see Daniel versus Court in an old favorite battle here, Aggro versus Atraxa.
Yep, Felden versus Atraxa.
Go ahead and put in the chat who you think's going to win this one.
Yeah, we've seen this a few times on channel, actually, this exact matchup.
Exactly. All right, with that, we'll be right back.